Hi guys. We are from Group 7 from Team C. Before we start, how are you guys doing? Good? Nice. Throughout 10 weeks of learning activities that had been conducted in online approach, there's a lot of new knowledge to be written down as our reflection for this course. But for the sake of this presentation, all 4 members of this group had agreed that before we look further into important of risk management and insurance itself, we will go through 6 legal principles of insurance, in which principle of indemnity, utmost good faith, subrogation, insurable interest, contribution and proximate cause, as we need a clear picture how this insurance works. Without further ado, let's go to the first legal principle of insurance. The principle of indemnity, where the insured shall not be compensated by an amount that exceeds his or her economic loss. Because this is to avoid any profit gained from the loss, the insurer will compensate the actual loss suffered by the insured, provided that the amount in the insurance policy is sufficient. Next, we are going to look into the principle of utmost good faith, in which it tells us that both parties in insurance contracts are bound with utmost good faith, belief and also trust, as the insured must in good faith disclose and declare to the insurer complete true information, in which to determine the risk involved. Because of that, failure to do so will make the insurance contract void. The third one is a principle of subrogation, in which the transfer of a right from the insured to the insurer to take action against a third party that caused the loss to the insured. By this principle, it can prevent the insured to get more than his rightful indemnity when he can recover more than one means. Then, on the principle of insurable interest, the person who applies for insurance must have economic relevance and/or financial dependence on an object or person. To be clear, the insured must be directly affected when losses occur concerning the subject matter. Furthermore, in the principle of contribution, the insured has more than one insurer that covers the same losses. By doing so, insurers have the right to recover partial and proportionate losses from the other insurers that cover the same loss. This situation is to avoid the insured make a profit by claiming from more than one insurer. The last legal principle of insurance that we need to know before we go deeper is the principle of proximate cause. This principle upholds the event of a loss that most dominant when there is more than one peril. The insurer is only liable to indemnify against the perils stipulated in the contract only. Now we are going to look why insurance is very important to us. Citing from the above news article, it could be devastating for someone to lose a valuable property, such as house. It could get more worse if the property razed by the fire are not insured, that extend the cost of losses to some amount that could not be bearable by individual. From this situation, we could learn about the importance of having property insurance to protect and mitigate any potential losses in the future. There are 5 importance points to be highlighted to mark how crucial it is to have an insurance as a medium of protection. The first one is to protect you and your family. This is because your family is reliant on your financial assistance to maintain a reasonable standard of life, which is why insurance becomes even more important once you start a family. It means that if anything unforeseen occurs, the people who matter most in your life will be shielded from financial hardship. Second is to dramatically decrease stress in times of hardship. We have no idea what is around the corner. Unexpected tragedies, such as injury, permanent disability, illness, or even death, can cause considerable emotional stress and even sadness for you and your family. Due to that, financial burden for you or your family can be minimized with insurance in place, allowing you to concentrate on healing and restoring your lives. Next, the importance of insurance is to enjoy the financial security, where, whatever your current financial situation is, an unforeseen occurrence will cause it to fall apart rather quickly. Insurance provides a payout in the event of an unexpected event, allowing you and your family to get on with your lives. Furthermore, the importance by having an insurance is to have peace of mind, in which, where there is no amount of money that can compensate for your health and happiness, or the part you play in your family. However, you should be assured that if anything were to happen to you, your family's financial stability will be aided by insurance. Finally, to leave a legacy behind is one of the importance of having an insurance, in which a lump sum death payment will help your children secure their financial future and maintain their standard of living. With that, you know that it is very important for us, as individual in taking an insurance as one of the medium for us to get a protection. Now, it is better if we divert our eyes, for a few minutes to look back, at the development of Malaysian insurance and takaful industry, that later on can be translated into a clearer picture, and perhaps guidance on why this both insurance companies and takaful operators could bring an impact to public, and also country. Insurance in Malaysia has started since 18th century, where at that time, the insurance local industry is based on British system, because it was introduced and managed by British companies, and there are a few participations from the local player, due to the lack of expertise among locals. The industry really took off somewhere around 1950s, when local incorporated companies are started to sell their own insurance product to the market. After the independence, nationalistic policy was introduced to encourage domestic companies to increase their market share. However, this booming pattern were coming into burst, when many of these companies are going out of business due to lack of proper underwriting practices, that leaving their policyholders holding a worthless policy. In 1963, government introduced Insurance Act 1963, that act as remedy, to have a proper formulation and regulations of insurance industry in Malaysia, to address the issue facing by the insurance industry at that time. Few years after the act were introduced, takaful industry started to appear, when Special Task Force was set up in 1982, to study the possibility of setting up a Sharia compliance insurance scheme, takaful. The establishment resulted from local experience and progress of current conventional insurance industry, that shows a promising future. The members' committee mutually agreed that the creation of Sharia compliance insurance scheme would be successful venture. In 1984, Syarikat Takaful Malaysia SD and BHD were established as culmination of efforts undertaken by government and vast population of Muslim in the country. Given that the concepts of takaful cannot be applied to offer and operate takaful products in the Insurance Act 1963. Due to that, the new act, which is the Takaful Act 1984, was created to provide the regulator law for takaful operators to conduct proper practices that are strictly aligned with Sharia principles. Furthermore, in 1996, 25 years after the introduction, Insurance Act 1963 was repealed by the Insurance Act 1966, that came into force in 1997, and further amendments was made in 2005, with the enactment of the Insurance Amendment Act 2005. After decades of insurance and takaful industry coexist together, both of this industry continue to show a positive growth, with combined total contributions by 4.4% to RM61.03 billion. For the assets, it expanded by 5% to RM277 billion. This strong growth was driven by the strong overall capitalizations. That's all for the development of both insurance together with takaful industry, and now we are going to look why the establishment of this insurance and also takaful operators is important to us, especially as a key to development of an economy. First, it promotes the economic growth. This is because the insurance sector will make a significant impact on the overall economy by mobilizing domestic savings. Besides that, insurance turn accumulated capital into productive investments, and insurance also enables mitigation of losses, financial stability, and promotes trade and commerce activities. Those results into sustainable economic growth and development. Thus, insurance plays a crucial role in the sustainable growth of an economy. Together with the takaful operators, that play an important role as economic or financial agents, as they essentially mobilize long-term funds in the form of contributions, and invest them in the available Islamic investment avenues. As custodians of public funds, takaful operators must ensure that the takaful funds are invested in compliance with Sharia, and are soundly managed to instill public confidence. Second, by the establishment of both takaful operators and also an insurance company, it brings more choices, along with widening the selection for the individual, together with corporation and also the government, in which to choose between insurance and takaful in order to meet their best needs. With that, that's all for now. We hope you enjoy the video, and don't forget to always taking care of yourself, and stay safe, especially during this pandemic. Bye guys, see you all later.